So hi everyone, so today marks my 100th episode here on YouTube, and what I want to do today was just briefly reflect on why I started this channel, and then we'll move on to some photography tips and tricks for the Olympus cameras. Now about 5 or 6 years ago I bought the website domain robtrek.com, and it's composed of two words, my first name Rob and then the word Trek, and Trek just means travel, right? And that was the intent of the website. It was going to be a blog about my travels for hiking and camping with my buddy Riley, who was my dog at the time, and just share that with my friends and family. And that's really all it was supposed to be. And to a great extent, I did take a lot of pictures, when I was out hiking, camping with my buddy. So I'm very glad about that. But then I wanted to get into video and start vlogging my adventures with Riley, right? Out hiking and camping, etc. And then share those with my family. So I started the channel here on YouTube, Rob Trek, with the intent to vlog my adventures with Riley. And unfortunately, he got very sick and passed on eventually. But while I was home one day taking care of him because we couldn't go out, I'd just fallen in love with the Olympus cameras. I picked up the EM10 Mark II about 4 months before that, and then I got the Pen F a month after that. And coming from a Nikon D750, I kind of missed the shutter mode dial. So I said, well, let me make a video about how I program the custom settings on the Pen F to become the shutter mode dial, or effectively a shutter mode dial. And I was really surprised with the feedback I got. I was like, wow, okay, because I didn't think anybody would care about anything I had to say, to be honest. So I said, okay, let me make another one, and anyhow, 100 videos later, here we are. But, what I want to say is really, I want to thank you guys for the very kind feedback over the past year, because I wouldn't have made this 100 videos without all of that great feedback and support. You guys have been wonderful, and hopefully I'll continue to make videos for you, and hopefully you find them helpful. Because I want to give back somehow, right? Best I can, because it's been a great adventure for me personally, and very rewarding that I've been able to make videos that you guys have found helpful. So with that in mind, in that spirit, let's move on to what the channel's basically become, and take a trek here around Manassas National Battlefield Park here in Virginia. And I'll share with you a few tips and tricks on how to get some photos of the beautiful foliage we have here in the fall. But I want to go back to my last video when I was talking about doing recipes or thinking of taking photos as recipes to try to get better pictures. Because as you know, and I've said many times, I'm not a great photographer, in terms of being creative and taking nice pictures. Or at least I'm not anywhere near I want to be. Because I've seen you guys on Instagram, and you guys are amazing. I mean, I really envy your creative skills with photography. So in my last video, I said I'm going to try and go out and think about pictures like a recipe, and see what kind of ingredients we have, and see if I can put a decent picture together. So I have here my EM10 Mark II with the 14-42 kit lens, and then I have this wide angle converter attached. And someone had asked me when I did a video about this wide angle. I didn't actually show it on the camera, but there it is, right? It's not bad, but it gives me a little bit wider field of view. And then I'm going to be using the same settings that I showed you in my best settings for beginners. And long story short, it's auto ISO between 200 and 25,000. We're going to be shooting an aperture priority with the lens wide open. In this case, it might be like between 3.5 and f5.6, depending on the zoom range. And then we're going to be shooting large superfine JPEG plus RAW. But we're also going to be and center point autofocus. So that's pretty much everything in the beginner series. And like I said, I do want to shoot wide open so that I get the fastest shutter speed possible. Now, what I'm going to be adding to that, because it is fall, is I'm going to be adding a couple of art filters, and we're going to do some bracketing so that when I take a picture, it automatically creates the art filtered images for me. And I showed you an easy bracketing video how to do that, so I won't go into it here, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be bracketing some art filters. And the art filters I'm going to pick today are the dramatic tone, because we have some really amazing clouds out today. And then also the pop art, which really is just a super saturated color. And then we'll do a grainy black and white as well. So those will be the 3 art filters I'm going to choose. And if I decide to add another one as we walk around, I'll let you know. But I'm going to share these pictures on Instagram and obviously here on this in this video. And I want you guys to give me some critical feedback, because this video is really for me as much as it is for you, because I really need to get out and take more pictures and try to get better pictures myself. But these are the settings I'm going with. Another thing with fall is, don't be afraid if it's cloudy out, because when it's high noon or it's very sunny out, it really washes out a lot of the colors in the trees. But when it's cloudy, like it is today, I think the colors stand out a lot more. So, you know, when you go out, don't be afraid of a few clouds. Okay, I've made it over to this tree line here with a fence, and I'm looking at this, and again, thinking about the ingredients. What do we have? We have sort of this red tree here in the middle, and then it's right next to sort of a yellow-orange tree, and that's next to a green evergreen. So in terms of, you know, ingredients, we have some nice complementary colors with the red and green, and then the yellow may be contrasting a little bit of the green around on the right and left side. So I'm seeing like these yellow trees framing the red and the green. So that looks pretty good to me. And then we also have the fence line below also framing the picture. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. So let's see what we get. All right, so I've made it over here to this Canon, and I think there's this beautiful color tree line behind it. Let's see what it looks like in the viewfinder. Yeah, I bet the dramatic tone filter will really make the skies pop, because what I'm seeing here just doesn't do it justice. Now, for this composition, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Canon here, and these 2 trees I think sort of balance out the picture. And then we have this tree line in the background that hopefully the colors will come out. But let's see. Alright guys, so I'm just making my way over here to the other signature item. There's a house out there. There's this really interesting tree right here. I might be able to do something with that. Oh, there's a photographer there doing some family photos. Okay, I've kind of walked up to here, and it's a little hard to see, but there's a really nice landscape shot opportunity there. So let's give that a shot and see how it comes out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in to this, because I think I can get a nice rule of thirds composition going. So I'm zoomed all the way out to 41 millimeters, which is probably about 36 millimeters with this wide angle converter on it. Let's take a picture here. Okay, so we have this Spring Hill Farm house. You guys probably know by now I'm a real estate photographer, so you think this would be easy for me, right? But it's not. I'm really struggling with trying to think of something creative. Oh, okay. Give me a couple minutes and I'll see what I can do. All right, there's another pasture or farmland out here. And I can get a couple of shots of just the landscape itself, but I'm gonna try and use this fence to maybe frame it a little better. I noticed this little triangle right in here that I think might make for an interesting picture. So let's give that a shot. It's always like when you're almost done and ready to head out that you turn around and say, oh, there's a shot right here. So I'm gonna take a picture here. I think there's some potential. Let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks again for watching, and if you'd like to see more videos, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.